This is Robert. Actually, this is his Lamborghini. This is Robert. This guy, right here. Robert owns a business that makes millions of dollars selling hats. Custom embroidered hats. So here's the story. Robert reached out to me almost 3 years ago. Hey Chris, I'm a software engineer by day. I'm an entrepreneur by night. I'm trying to build this business. Can you help me? I wrote the site entirely by myself. I'm stitching and shipping all the hats myself. He was working out of his basement and then his garage. I'll be honest, I never saw the message until probably 2 years later. But by that time, he didn't need me anymore. He'd left his day job, he'd moved out of the garage, and built a multi-million-dollar empire. He's got employees, he's got square footage, he's got a Lamborghini. Just wait until you hear the story with that. His style, his way of running this hat shop, it's unordinary in the best way possible. This is so much more than just hats. It started with me inspiring him, and now he's inspiring me.
If you would ask me 5 years ago if I'd be quitting my job as a software engineer to run a hat company, I'd probably say you are insane.
So I flew out to St. Louis to experience his story, infiltrate his operation, and see what I can learn. "7 a.m. was the wake-up call.
Howdy ho.
Yeehaw.
Good morning.
Robert shows up in his Tesla, the one where the doors go up like you're in some sort of spaceship. So we hop in and we're on our way.
So I actually do a lot of my thinking, like right now in the car. So my day might completely just do a 180 of what I thought it would be when I first woke up, based upon what I come up with in my head right now when I'm driving my car.
Can you tell me, what do these ads look like for capturing an audience? Who are you advertising to? You know, I'm creating the Facebook ad.
Yep.
Who's my audience?
Small business.
So what does that look like?
That's like
In the ad, when I type in the targeting.
small business owner,
Oh,
United States.
simple as that.
Right, it's pretty much. The first thing someone does when they start a business is they buy merch. Like they got their business, they got their logo
Priorities
back.
are all wonky.
Right. Hey, getting something physical with your new logo that you created on Fiverr that looks like crap on it means a lot to these people.
Well, this is exciting stuff right here. We're live right now at Robert Ham's humble. What are you doing? Hello. So we're here right now at the Ham Pad, the Robert Ham Pad. Tell me about the Robert Ham Pad and what does that mean to you?
This is my house. This is where I live.
What do people in town think of this when they see?
Oh, they're just dumbfounded. It's cool, but it gets annoying very fast. People will like do U-turns in the middle of the road and follow you to a gas station or to a parking lot, and they'll be like, "Can I take a picture of your car?" I'm like, yeah, just take the picture. You don't have to ask. At one point, I had 5 cars. I had a Corvette, 2 BMWs. There's a picture of one of my Corvettes over there on my toolbox. I race them too. So this is a Z06 that I had.
Wow.
It was like 650 horsepower. Car's freaking awesome. I wish I still had it. Oh, here's a name tag from one of my old jobs. Keep that on my toolbox. I never thought I'd be owning my own business and not working for someone else. Like that wasn't really on the cards. But for me to progress through my career was always based on I wanted to make more money to afford the next car that I wanted. It always was. And that was the whole purpose of me working, was to be able to afford more cars.
So starting the hat business started out of a want for a Lamborghini.
I wanted this.
The story begins in 2017 when Robert's wife Natalie rented him a Lamborghini to drive through the mountains of Colorado. It was love at first sight.
Renting that car and driving it, I've always wanted a Lamborghini. Like that was like, I wanted it so bad.
So he goes to the internet with one question in mind.
Let's find out how I can make some side money using my skills as an engineer. All the drop shipping stuff, like that was interesting. I didn't see any passion or behind it. Like I couldn't really apply my skills to it.
He stumbled upon a website where he could sell t-shirts with no upfront cost to him. He put together some designs and started promoting t-shirts to car enthusiasts on Facebook. As it would turn out, he hit the nail on the head. Cha-ching. Next order of business, sell hats.
car people love hats. You go to a racing event, there's hats everywhere.
After some Googling, Robert discovered there aren't really any options out there to do this.
So I hurried up and I just popped up a quick Shopify store, threw my designs on there, and I sold 100 hats.
So now, oh crap, he's got 100 hats that he now has to fulfill. Luckily, his friend's mom had an embroidery shop.
I basically sent her the Excel sheet of all the orders that I had and had her stitch them for me. I picked them up, brought them home, taped together 100 boxes, printed out 100 labels, put it in my car, and took it to the USPS post office.
So he just kept doing this over and over.
Well, you know what? If I buy my own machine, I can cut her out and make a little bit more money on it and get closer to buying that Lamborghini, right? That's why I was doing this.
You can see how one thing just kind of led to the other, like water down a river. This is the inception of what would become a multi-million-dollar empire known as Hat Launch.
We have a 3-year-old, so just
I'm
heads
excited
up.
to see. I want to know what it's like to be a CEO like you. What does the diet consist of?
Here's a great shot of the diet.
So we got Twinkies, or what are those, Dawn? What are those right there? Some donuts?
Oh yeah, donuts for sure. Let's close that.
You got
How bad we
Pop-Tarts
are.
in there. I love it.
We got some junk and some more junk, and then we've got the roller coaster over here. So not many people have roller coasters in their house, but we do because I'm a CEO. But we're gonna go downstairs.
How long have you had this house for?
We've been here for 3 years.
Okay.
My desk used to be right here, and I had a single head embroidery machine here. But the whole reason we bought this house when I moved in was because it has these double doors right here that go outside. So I was able to take that big machine and put it right here.
Okay.
So this is where one of the big machines was. And then I had my single head machine here and my desk right there.
What are the traits that you think allowed you to get to where you're at right now?
Taking risk. Just risk.
So tell me about that, what it was like taking these risks. Did you have doubt in your mind, or did you know this was going to work?
I had to make it work. I didn't know it would work, but I had to. By buying an $18,000 embroidery machine, I had to at least bring in the business to pay for that. Otherwise, it's coming out of my own personal pocket. And then buying the $40,000 big embroidery machine, I had to at least pay for that, or it's coming out of my own pocket.
You know, we had a conversation yesterday in the car driving back from the airport where you talked about how you're kind of just playing this day by day.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You're figuring it out as you
Swinging
go.
it. Yeah.
And you're okay with that.
Yeah. That's how I've lived my life.
What would you say to somebody that thinks that they have to have it all figured out to be able to start a business?
You don't, man. And it's funny. Like you'll hear people that'll say like, "Oh, but what are you gonna do about taxes when you make $2 million?" It's like, you figure it out. You've got $2 million of revenue to figure out what you're gonna do about taxes.
Wait, do you say it's a deep confidence in yourself that allows you to keep pressing forward?
I think so. I think that I know that if I sit down to do a task, I'm gonna be able to figure it out. Thinking back, like I went to a technical college for programming, right? And it was a small class of like 8 of us. 6 of the people felt like they didn't get a good education because they weren't taught how to program. And I'm like you should have been just figuring it out on your own.
Here we are.
I've been on a sausage and cheese biscuit kick.
Yeah. You just like to keep it simple, minimal.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
All right, so we're here right now. Where are we at, Robert Ham?
We are at the Hat Factory, Hat Launch.
Yeah.
See behind us?
Tell me about this place right here.
Yeah, this is our fourth site for the business. We've been here since October of 2021. I'll just go through the flow, high level flow of how it works,
I'd
right?
love to see.
So after the order's been batched and picked, right, it goes into a box, and they pick a box that suits how many hats are in the order, right? So this is where we keep the very expensive part of the business. Like this is $400,000 worth of hats down here.
Jesus. You know, I look at all this inventory down here. How do you fund all this? $400,000 worth.
It's one of the other very stressful parts of doing this business. We're customer funded. I have no investors.
Would you say one of the jobs of a CEO like yourself is going out and getting money? That's one of the parts of the
I spend so much time planning capital and getting it
This is the common thread with Robert. He's incredibly resourceful, and he's clearly followed the path of least resistance.
I'm not better than anyone else. I'm not smarter than anyone else. I don't think I'm smart. I think I'm just able to blindly take risks and just push through stuff more than a normal person might be able to.
So right now you're doing on average how many hats a month?
20,000 hats a month currently. So our next revenue goal is 6.5 million next year. In 2024, we have to do at least $10 million in revenue. And to get to that, that's like 450,000 hats. So this is 80,000 hats.
Back up here at home base.
Yeah, so now we can go out to like the production area and kind of show that process.
Let's do it.
I never quite imagined myself getting excited over a custom hat business. I mean, it's easy to think, well, it's just hats. What more can it be? And that was my initial thought. But now I'm here, exploring and taking it all in.
So this is what happens after a customer makes an order, you bring it comes into here?
One of the designers pulls it up, and this is Wilcom Embroidery Studio. And basically every single design or file, unless you know what this font is specifically, comes in and actually traces out.
You can just feel this electrifying energy that permeates every square inch of the building.
I recommend this color.
Okay.
So we have the black text. It's gonna pop really well on this. But you're free to choose.
You know what I think I
hat in
want?
here.
I think I want white.
White?
White.
That's a
Yes.
good choice too.
You can just feel this overwhelming sense of pride in what he's built.
Okay, I know a lot of you expressed concern about scheduling, so we're gonna go over. Yeah, Brian, you had a question.
Why are the hats so good?
I'm sorry?
These employees are shocked at how nice the hats are. Because in the history of companies giving out merch and hats and shirts, 9 times out of 10, it's garbage that the worker doesn't want to wear. It's basically us three got together and came up with some concepts, and whichever one made us all laugh the most was what we honed in on.
I respect it. I respect the unwavering ability to just blaze your own trail and not care what anybody thinks.
It's real good.
It's a nice looking hat.
Making money, it's just one big game of knowing yourself and not being afraid to be yourself. Too many times, I think we make success harder than it needs to be. But for Robert, it's effortless.
I'm doing this right?
Okay, True Profit. I want to give them a big shout out for sponsoring part of this movie. True Profit is a Shopify app that allows you to accurately track your profit in real time. The amount of data that you can input and track in real time, no other app allows you to do this. It's incredible. This is a big deal. And now I'm able to make data-backed decisions to grow my business. Look, the team behind this app, they're amazing. Don't believe me? Go and download the Shopify app. The link is in the description and see for yourself.
My saying that I've made is like delegate, automate, and innovate. What were we talking about again?
All right, Mr. Robert Ham, tell me where we're at right now.
So we are at the shirt shop for shirt launch. You're gonna see like completely different process for creating shirts, but it's all running on the same platform that I've written for the hat company.
Robert recently acquired a screen printing business. I'm here to check it out.
The first part of the process of creating shirts is creating the screen that actually goes on the shirt.
Okay.
So that happens in the other room over there with like the artwork set up and
Yeah.
stuff behind the scenes. But once that's done, we come over here and this is what's called a dark room. This is a special kind of light. A key part to like acquiring this business is like it's turnkey. It was already a functioning screen print business, but it just allowed me to come in and put my processes in place to just make it better.
Yeah, I love it. Why do you think you thrive when it comes to like this particular kind of business?
It combines all the things that I like. Art, code.
Let me ask you this. I know there's a lot of young entrepreneurs watching this. Do you think it's paramount to figure out what you enjoy and kind of pair that with a market demand Figure out what makes money.
Yeah. I think you just have to try things to actually do figure out what you enjoy. There is something to be said to make sure you actually do enjoy what you're doing when you do finally lock into that. Starting anything new isn't very fun at the beginning, and it's going to be hard, especially if you're going to actually learn it. If you're going to do the due diligence of sit down and actually learn something for the first time that's new, at the beginning it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun until you're like 6 months to a year into it and you're getting pretty good at it, right? The first time you play basketball, it's not very fun to suck at it, right? It doesn't become fun until you actually get pretty good.
It seems like at this phase in your life, we can really see confidence shining through to where you can make these important decisions to acquire a screen printing business.
For sure, yeah. And this is all a risk. Time and time again, I'm gonna bet on myself. When I think of like, oh, why don't I just take my extra money and invest it, or give it to an investor to invest for me? I would much rather invest that money into myself, because I know that I'm going to execute in my best interest as hard as possible, time and time again.
What's the margin, do you say, on a hat? A hat that I'm wearing right here. What is the margin look
It
like?
depends on which margin you're talking about. We're talking profit margin after all
Profit margin,
expenses.
yes.
Our business particularly, after all expenses, we're at like a 15% profit margin. But we spend a lot more money than a business that's been doing this for 30 years on advertising.
Yeah.
So
You're pouring back into the business.
Yeah.
Reinvesting. You look like Amazon, basically.
yeah,
I love that.
very miniature version.
A miniature version
Yeah.
of Amazon. Hey, who knows, you might ride on that yacht that Jeff Bezos just got with him.
Yeah, I haven't
Sipping-
responded to his request. And,
You know, you had some experience with money, right? Money's good.
Yeah.
Money's a form of currency, obviously.
Right.
I want to know, does money, when you think about money, does it make you happy? Does money provide happiness?
I wouldn't say money directly provides me happiness, but money allows me to get the things that I want that make me happy. Partly happy. I mean, you can't, physical goods isn't the 100% of my happiness, right? A car isn't 100% of my happiness, but it's a big part of it. It's like the accomplishment of getting there that provides the happiness, like setting a goal and getting to it. And then for me, how quickly can I get to that goal? And if I get there quick, I feel really good about myself and it makes me very happy. It's just all of these things. Like, and when I walk out to my garage and I see a Lamborghini in my garage, I'm like, wow, like that's mine. And like how normal it's become now is actually kind of shocking too. It's like, okay, that's sitting right there. Every day it's still there. That's mine. That's mine. It's not completely paid for. I'm not a baller. There's a car loan on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it's like, and it's not, and I don't want this to come off as like I'm some super rich dude, because I'm not. Like, I'm still very middle class, and I live in a middle class neighborhood, and I got a Lambo in my garage that looks kind of skeptical. What's the word I'm looking? Suspicious. Here's this guy in our neighborhood with a Lambo in his garage. What's he up to? He must do crypto.
You're still at a phase where you want to reinvest everything back in.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. That's another funny part. Is like there are so many parts in growing this thing where I could have just stopped and been comfortable and made the car payment, but it went 3.5 to almost 4 years before I finally pulled the trigger on getting the car that I built the entire business for, because I didn't want to stop the growth. Like, I didn't pay myself until June of last year.